Hello friends, hello. So today we have a 1997 Chevy Silverado. This is an old truck. It's got some problems. Now we've already gotten started on it, so let me kind of show you. There was one of those shields on the front. We removed that, put it aside because we're going to get it cleaned up, but we have to paint the hood, as you can see. So it's going to have to be painted. And then we have all of this that needs to be worked off of there too. So we'll get to that. So that's part of it. The other part of it is, can you see all of that rusted out? That looks pretty good. But most of it's right here on back. And it gets even crazier back here. But we have the parts. That's what these are. So that's been fitted already. This, he's trying to decide. He thinks he might cut it off here at the body line where the trim goes. Just below it. Actually, I think it's just above it. Yeah, it's just above it. So he's thinking he might cut it here and allow the body line to blend in to this. Okay? So, we have that. And it needs other stuff. And what's crazy is the rust is really bad up there, but none of it. No rust here. And usually there's rust here and above the wheel well. That's a Chevy thing. Anyway, so here's the tailgate. Kind of revised version, you know. And I'll try to show you. But I'm kind of not on the... This thing is so close to the wall. So check this out. It's even got grass and weeds growing in the bumper area. So we'll have to clean all that out. And we have an issue here. And here's the side that's really bad. This is really bad. But we are only doing one side at a time at this point. We don't have much rust along here, but there is a little bit under. And so we're going to go ahead and replace the rocker panel there. Something else, the mirror is missing. And the last thing is this. That whole roof needs to be sanded, and then we will repaint that. So, the repainting areas are going to be the hood and the roof. And then we're going to do both sides. But in the meantime, since he is heading home, I am going to get started sanding. Look at that. It is so nasty. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some rinseless put together and maybe throw a little bit of soap in there, and we're going to see if we can't clean a little bit of this off. That way we can sand it with a cleaner surface and see how well we can do. I don't think it'll matter, but I just want to see. So, welcome to my life. This is a typical Chevy thing. I've got it on my pickup too. That rocker panel is usually pretty bad about rusting out on those things. My kids have Chevys and theirs does the same thing. It is what it is. You just have to learn to deal with it. Cut it out if you need to. But today we are going to sand. And we are going to clean that up and see what we can do. It is just now 6 o'clock. I'm not going to be heading home for a few hours. So I figured, you know what, let's get started on the sanding. So it's a very hot day. Thankfully, the sun has moved far enough to the west that we don't have a lot of that, so the big fan will help. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to use the 400 grit to get started. Obviously, we're just going to take it down. And then we're going to use the palm sander and make sure we have good. Now we will follow up with 1000 grit just to make sure it's smooth and doesn't have a bunch of grooves and scratches and all of that. We will come back after we get through it and use the 1000 to smooth it out. Anyway, let's get started. Right, I took you through, let me get you a little, hopefully a better view. I took you through this first process because I figured I'd probably better show people, because I get a lot of questions about how to sand these things down. It depends on what you're doing. Now, for this particular situation, we're taking off all that clear coat. But in order to do that, we're probably going to go through the paint, which I did, and in several spots. You also have to remember some of this was probably ruined anyway. Sorry about that. Anyway, do you see some of these white spots? Some of these orange spots. Okay, so these, I'm starting to get through the clear right there. This is starting to get through the clear. I have to get the clear off. It's going to be painted, so it doesn't matter if I take it all the way down. It's smooth right here, but not smooth here. None of this is smooth. In fact, what I've done is I've wrestled up that clear coat and created all these spots, so it feels like this thing's got freckles. Okay? So, on my phone, I will probably stop the recording here. I will continue getting this done, but I'll come back after a bit, okay? Here we go. Alrighty, friends, so this half is done. That's it. It's been 3.5 hours, And this is finally done. I finally got it smooth. There's some pieces that are still a bit questionable in my opinion. We went through the paint in many locations, but it's smooth. So heck if I know. So this side has not been done. You can see that. However, I can tell you, it's because you see all that shiny stuff, you know, the discoloration right there. Look at that side. Once I started going over that, every time I'd wipe it down, it was shinier. It's gotten shiny in the distance. Weirdest thing ever. Now, the reason that this has been such a pain in the butt and it is so difficult is because of the age. The age of this paint and the era of the paint. Oh, that is where I stand. It's 9:45 at night. I got nothing better to do, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it another hour, see if I can't work on this. If I can at least get away from that center line, I'm doing good.
All right.
I think we knew that. Remember, because he tried it on the...
But this is
I'd definitely cover that black. Probably need to wipe it off, though.
yeah, we do. I'm just looking to see what it's going to look like more than anything.
I don't know. It looks pretty damn good inside there.
Fucking backside of these bumpers. Oh, it's a spare tire, that's why. Stick in there. Good Lord.
You just like to make a mess for other people to clean up.
That's right.
That's what I thought. Your secret is out. Alrighty, friends. So we are at the point of taping off. So this is the hood. This is the finished product. I just finished washing the pickup. I needed to get all of that dust off of there. There was so much built up all over. When it's done, I will get to the interior. Here is the replaced part. Goes way up under there. And we have this. Now this is going to have to be sanded on both sides. So I also spent some time and got the bed cleaned out. This is my box of plastic. I try to preserve what I can. So I got it out. We're going to get started on taping off. We're going to tape off this window. And the reason is because we're not going to be able to get to this pickup until Tuesday. So I need to do this window, and I need to cover this bed from, we basically need to cut the bed, you know, cut it in half, obviously, so that the bed does not get painted on. We don't want this liner, which is actually pretty good. We don't want this liner to be painted red. So we're gonna put, I've got a tarp, but if I've got a piece of plastic that I can tape down, that's what I wanna do. So anyway, that's what we're gonna start with, and I'm gonna tape off this light. I'm also not sure how to do this. We have to have the doors open when we paint this. Oh. These need to be put where they belong. Anyway, so the door is going to have to be open in order for us to handle that rocker panel. Which means we're gonna tape it off from the inside, which I can probably do that tonight. But we also have to tape this off. So I'm thinking, I don't know. The window being down is not going to be a problem because we'll have this area blocked off. So I will tape it all, you know, cover it all so that you can't see inside. You've seen me do that before. But this, we have no choice but to cover that up. And I'm not exactly sure if I'll be able to close the door. So I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. So this is where the pickup was. Underneath all of that were these great big piles. I did not record it because I'm still struggling with memory on this phone. In fact, I had to sit down for the last 2 hours and edit a couple of videos for the last 2 details so that I could continue on this pickup. Anyway, so I worked on it. I got a lot of the workbench cleaned up. I got our drinks and stuff that go on in the fridge up on the counter, the food up on top. I'm not sure what we're going to do with this door. It's annoying. But we got all of everything blown out. The floor is looking much, much better. I'm not worried about Bella's feet anymore. Which was the problem. All of those metal shavings on this floor were scaring me. You got an itch when I'm recording you? Anyway, so let's get started on this taping off. Alrighty, friends, so there's just a few things left to do on this pickup. We tried a new clear coat, and look, I don't have that much work to do on the hood. I'm so happy. This clear coat just really did a good job. I don't know why we never switched before, but it's done, and that's all I care about. The roof needs a good polish, and I will get to that. That's the plan for tomorrow. The sides are looking really good. We're letting it set up before we put the trim back on. And we have new parts. We have lots of new parts. My dad's gonna sort all of that out. This is the tailgate. We got that. That's not even gonna look like that when we're done. I'm telling you. It's gonna be really pretty with that pretty red. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. I have the other dealership coming to get a car and bring me another one, and I have to go finish my training at the part-time job. I still have a lot to do on the bed, and it's just going to be nonstop if I don't end it here. But I will bring you more videos on this pickup. It's still going to be here. We had hoped to have it out by Friday. However, that's not going to happen, but that's okay. We got the grill. We're going to replace the lights on it with the amber. The grill is actually in decent shape, and the lights are in good shape. The amber lights and all of that, we'll put those on the new grill. But as I showed you, this is busted. And that piece is that blue piece sitting in the back. So this red piece, that's going to be replaced too. So that is it for this video. I'll bring other videos of this pickup. It's been a big project, and I know a lot of people think, why would you do that on a 30-year-old pickup? You would be surprised. You would be surprised what somebody would do for a pickup truck. Even with gas prices crazy and all of that, they would do a lot of different things. They would find the money. And this pickup actually can retail for $6,500 if it's in good shape. The interior looks really good. So when I get that detailed, it's going to look really nice. The fabric in those seats, they clean up really, really well. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me on this long journey. That was 2 weeks worth of work, and I wanted to kind of bring it to you in a shorter amount of time, but it just wasn't going to work. Either way, the hood is painted. I did that. I am so happy. It turned out really, really nice. That other clear coat, I told my dad, don't you ever buy that shit again. Don't. Because this stuff did a really good job. It really did. I'll be able to clean it up, but man, that is the best finish we have ever had. It just really looks good. I'm super proud of it. Anyway, I hope you all have a good one. It's time for me to get to work, and then I have to go to the part-time job. So I'm going to cut it off here. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.